Hello everybody, welcome back. Nice to see you all again. How was your weekend? Tell me, what did you do? Who wants to share with us? Bonjour?
Last weekend I visited my grandparents.
Great. Bonjour's answer was, last weekend I visited my grandparents. Let's write this on the board. Anyone else wants to share? Karim, go ahead.
I went out with my friends last weekend.
Karim answered, I went out with my friends last weekend. And one more, Anna?
I was sick and stayed at home all weekend.
Anna was sick and stayed at home. Okay, now I will present to you a short text. I will give you a couple minutes to read it and then we're going to talk more about it. Okay, what we know from this text is that Nurul is living in Germany now. But did she live in another country before?
Yes, in Malaysia.
That's correct. She's from Malaysia. When did she move to Hamburg?
2 years ago.
Great! She has lived in Hamburg for 2 years. That means that she moved to Hamburg 2 years ago. Is she still living in Hamburg?
Yes.
Did she learn German when she was in Malaysia?
Yes, in high school.
Still learning German in Hamburg?
Yes.
Did she like German language in the past? Does she like German now?
Yes.
Excellent. So in this text, Nurul tells us about some of the things she started doing in the past and she's still doing them in the present. And to express that, we use a new tense. We call this tense present perfect tense. Do we use present perfect tense for actions that are finished? Nurul has lived in Hamburg for 2 years. Does it mean that she's still living in Hamburg now?
Yes.
So we use this tense to talk about actions that started in the past but still continue in the present. Okay, let's now see how this tense looks like. The subject plus have or has plus the main verb in the past participle form. We use present perfect tense to talk about life experiences. For example, I have been to Turkey. This means that I have been to Turkey sometimes in the past. It could have been last year or 10 years ago. We often use ever to emphasize the questions about the past events, like in have you ever been to Turkey? Or never to emphasize negative structures, as in I have never been to Turkey. Another use of present perfect tense is to describe an action that happened in the past, but the results or consequences are still visible in the present. Let's try to understand it through this example. You are coming home and you want to open the door. But when you look for the keys in your bag, you realize you don't have your keys. You have lost your keys. And then your next door neighbor shows up and he sees you looking for something and he asks you what happened. And your answer will be, I have lost my keys. So you have lost your keys in the past, but the consequence is that you cannot open your door in the present. Another use of present perfect tense is when we're talking about action that started in the past but has finished recently. For example, somebody is sitting at the dinner table and is offering you food, and you're saying, no thank you, I've just eaten. Please pay attention how in this sentence, I've just eaten, I have is contracted to I've, and this is very common for this structure, especially in speech, when I have becomes I've, and he or she has becomes his or she's. We also use present perfect to describe an action that started in the past, but still continues in the present. Like in example, I have lived in New Zealand for 18 years. Here the word for is used to emphasize how long this period lasted. Or when I say she has lived in Auckland since 2002, the word since is used to emphasize when the action started. There are certain signal words often used with this tense, which are just, for, since, ever, never, recently, already, yet, up to now, so far. Many students have problem knowing when to use present perfect tense and when to use past simple tense. In order to know this, we need to think about time. Present perfect is always used for unfinished time and past simple is always used for finished time. Like in example, last month I visited my brother twice. Last month is finished, so we use past simple. But when we say this month I have visited my brother twice, this means that this month is not yet finished and I still have time to visit him again, so we use present perfect. Let's now draw a timeline to review what we learned so far about present perfect. On the timeline on the left or behind us is the past, in the middle is the present, and on the right or in front of us is the future. As mentioned before, we use present perfect to talk about life experiences. So, on our timeline, this is represented as past action that happened sometimes in the past, from the day we were born until now. The second function that we mentioned is action that happened in the past with consequences or results in the present. Next is the action that started in the past but has finished recently. And last one is the action that started in the past but it's still going on in the present. Okay, let's now practice together and see what we learned so far. I'm going to show you some photos. You will look at them and tell me the correct sentence corresponding to these photos. Do you get it? Okay, let's start. Okay, who wants to try first? Kerim?
They have just gotten engaged.
Correct. They have just gotten engaged. Next one, Diana.
Have you ever ride a camel?
Anybody knows what's the past participle of the verb ride? Božo?
Riden.
Ridden, that's right. So the correct sentence would be, have you ever ridden a camel? Božo, can you now post another question to Diana using the same structure, have you ever?
Have you ever been to Egypt?
No, I haven't.
That's great. Anna, can you do this one, please?
They have known each other for 4 months.
Yes, they have known each other for 4 months. Anyone would like to try this one? Yes, Mirjana?
I have already watched this movie.
Very good, thank you. Leila, can you please do the next one?
He has never seen a snow.
Good. Leila, can you now ask the person sitting next to you what is something he has never done before?
What is something you have never done?
I have never told a lie.
Very good. I have never told a lie. And can somebody do the last one, please? Asima, can you do it?
She has lost lots of weight recently.
Very well. She has lost lots of weight recently. Excellent. You all did very well. Congratulations. Unfortunately, our time is up for this lesson, but please, when you get home, have a look at page number 57 and try to do exercises A, B, and C, and we will check this next time. Thank you and have a good rest of the day, and see you on Thursday.